Hey there everyone, my name is Claire and I am the Crochet Lady. I recently had a great opportunity to have my crocheted items in an actual physical store for people to buy. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about how I came upon this opportunity, what items sold, and how much money I actually made. And if you like these types of videos, please go ahead and subscribe. I do a lot of crochet related content on this channel that you don't want to miss. So in the beginning of January, I got an ad on my Instagram for a shop or a place, a location called Maintle. Now in English that is directly translated to my table, and it is a store which is basically for people selling their goods. They're based on a rental service, so you can go ahead and rent out a shelf in the store for a certain amount of time, and depending on how long you take it, they have different hiring prices. And you can sell any types of goods here. You can sell second-hand goods, homemade goods, they can be non-perishable items, food items, anything like that. From when I saw this ad to when I actually contacted the shop to find out their prices was about a month. So it took me about a good 4.5 weeks for me to actually grow onto the idea that I could have my stuff in the store. What got me doubting on whether I should actually have my items in the store or not was just the volume of stock that I have. I have never done a market before, and anything that I have made has been purely for recreation purposes because I enjoy it. But I did have a few items that I had made that I kept in a box, kept it safe for one day, and this was my one day. So once I realized I did actually have enough to kind of put together on a store shelf, I only had to make a few more smaller keychains, small items that if people didn't want to buy my 25 or 30 euro items, they could stick to the smaller keychains. I decided to stick to the minimum hiring period of 2 weeks, which is roughly, it was 12 days, but I just say 2 weeks anyway. That was the minimum time that I hired it for. I was pleasantly surprised to see what sold and what didn't. The items that sold, I will go through everything right now, and I'll also give the prices. So right off the bat, the things that sold the quickest were the axolotls, and I only made 4 of them. I made 2 pink, 2 blue, and I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't make more because they probably would have sold. And I priced those at 9 euros, which is kind of around $10. Surprised that they sold, but kind of kicking myself that I didn't make more. I also sold 2 chubby birds. I am pleasantly surprised that 2 of the 3 sold, and I priced those at 7 euros, so not too bad. I sold 2 mini octos, and I thought these would do a lot better than they did. I made 9 in total, and 2 sold, so I still have 7 left. And I'm thinking they didn't sell that well because of the placement. I have them on the bottommost shelf of my little section, and maybe they didn't get as many eyes on them, but the basket that I had them in logistically didn't fit anywhere else, so I had to put them at the bottom. And I thought, well, if little kids walk by, they're a lot shorter and they might see it. So I have the 2 octos that I sold, and I sold those for 6 euros each, so they were also in the lower price range. Then I sold 1 leggy frog. I sold that for 8 euros. I also sold 1 rainbow bee, which was a keychain. I sold that for 7 euros. And then I sold 2 shark keychains, which I priced at 5 euros. That was my cheapest item of everything, were the teeny tiny little shark keychains. So I sold 2 of those, and then the thing that was the highest price of all the items that sold was my 1 blue stegosaurus, and I sold that for 12 euros, and I'm super happy about that because it was something that I made that was just so pretty, and I was like, someone has to buy this. So in total, I sold 13 items of the 58 that I had initially there, which is not too bad considering it was only there, my stand was only there for 12 days, and the shop is actually closed on a Sunday, so it's really only 6 days a week that you have an opportunity to sell your items. So in total, I made 99 euros, which is not bad considering it's the first time I've ever sold any of my items in a physical presence or in a store itself. And I'm going to talk now about the costs involved. It is important to note before I carry on with the calculations here of the finances that this store was quite far away from where I live, so I did have to travel quite a distance. It was about an hour's drive there and then another hour's drive back to where I live. So I do have to include travel in the costs of this calculation. So the hiring fee itself was 55 euros for the 12 days. And I was super happy that I made that back, because it was a big concern of mine that I wouldn't sell enough to cover the hire fee, and then I would have to pay out of my own pocket for that, which is not what I want. But then comes the fuel costs. My time as well as fuel worked out to about 150 euros. So in total, I'm about 200 euros. That's how much it cost. And I only made 99 euros from what I sold. So I am working already at a loss there. And that was purely just because the travel was so much. I'm going to talk about a few things that I'm going to be doing differently next time and the reasons why I'm going to be doing that. I also want to answer a few questions that I got during a TikTok live when I was talking about this. So one of the questions was, how did I come upon this opportunity? I did already answer that in the beginning of the video. It was an Instagram ad that I got. However, you will be surprised at where you can actually place your items. So if you have any type of craft stores or any like children's boutiques, it would have to be a bit more of a less corporate kind of situation. Like you couldn't go into a chain store and ask them to place your items. It would have to be a privately owned boutique or kind of like a little craft store, privately owned, that you can speak to them. And all you have to do is ask them if they have any vendor placement opportunities. They're going to be like, what is that? And you're going to explain the concept of them renting out a very small section or very small shelf where you can place your items, and then you can start discussing with them whether you are going to be paying a hiring fee for the time that your items are there, or if they want to, they can also ask for a markup on each item that is sold. It works out better for everyone to just do a hiring fee. Because, you know, when it comes to marking up, it's a bit of a gray area on how much extra they're going to charge on your products. So that's a good way to do it, is to actually physically go into places that you frequent anyway, if it is in your area, and ask them if they have any vendor placement opportunities. The next question was, do you have to have a registered business to put your things in the store? In this specific store that I went to, you do not. And it was very much a case of like, that was the whole point of the store, was that you didn't need to have a business. You could just go there and even sell your secondhand goods. There were a lot of people selling like secondhand toys and hobbyists, you know, people who do crafts as a hobby. The only reason why you would need like a registered business is if there was going to be a contracted lease for you to have your items there. So if that's not the case, I really don't think they're going to be bothered if you have a registered business or not. And another very good question that I had was, were any items stolen? Because when you go there, you set your items up and you leave, and you just trust that the store has good enough security and they're having enough staff there to keep an eye on everything. And I am very happy to announce that nothing was stolen. This is going to be based on your location. Maybe you are in an area where crime is higher than others. Crime is a lot less here than in other places and in other countries. So I did not experience any theft on my items. And then the other question was obviously how much I made, and I've already answered that. I am running at a loss for this. So here are my takeaways on what I'm going to be doing differently next time. One thing I would definitely change for next time is having a more variety of items on my shelves, because this time around I had mainly plushies. And if you are a parent, you know you're not going to be buying your child a plushie. They already have so many. It's normally the children themselves that will see something and then nag their parents to buy it. Kids are at school during the week. It really only leaves like a Friday afternoon and a Saturday for the kids to actually come themselves with their parents into the store and get the items. I would have my most sales on a Saturday. So that means that when the adults were roaming the store during a Monday to a Thursday, they weren't resonating with the items that I had on my shelf. Next time, I definitely will have more items for the adults, such as earrings, hair accessories. Smaller earrings and things can be quite profitable. So I will be doing that for next time. I think what I will do next time is have my items in the store over the school holidays. So especially over the summer holidays when there are a lot of kids with their parents, I think that will do very well. So it's really about timing. Another thing I will do differently next time is have a longer hire period, because then in relation to the time period, it works out a little bit cheaper if you hire for a longer period. What's really nice is that I don't actually have to physically go in when I want to restock. I can, from where I am, send my things via delivery, like a delivery service, to deliver my items there. And I will just send them an email saying I have this package coming. It is items for my shelf. They will put the items up on your shelf. They'll take a picture and send it to you and ask you, is the display okay? So even though I did make a loss, I do still want to try it again with some little strategy changes here and there. And I will definitely do another updated video. The summer months are also going to be coming up, so I'm going to be eyeing out some summer markets and seeing if I can sell some of my items there. Like always, if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If you do have any advice for me from someone who is more experienced in having the items in a physical store, go ahead and comment below on your tips and tricks and what I should be doing different next time. That will be a great help and my lifesaver. Until next time, bye.